Thank you very much, Lord Mayor. I was going to say, just from my point of view, to see a service like this for children and young people is fantastic. In terms of, we all have sort of personal reasons for seeing things go. I have a sister who's now in her mid-40s, who lost her way when she was about 13, didn't find her way again until she was into her 30s, and she talks very much about there was never anybody there for me. There was never anybody I could go to. Yes, my parents were there, but they weren't the right people. Yes, you were there as my brother, but you weren't the right person either. And there was nobody there, nobody who could help me. There were times when I wanted help and I wanted to get out, but there was nobody there. And it's services like this that are there for young people like that to help them find their way back. And I think it's brilliant. Now I'd like to introduce Fintan Hayes, who's the Regional Director for the National Treatment Agency, still. We've just been talking about all the changes the NHS and others are going through, so Fintan, I think you'll be part of the Public Health England organisation at some point soon, but for now, Regional Director of the National Treatment Agency, and we'll say a few minutes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. I remember being at a meeting in Portsmouth, that must be 3 years ago, it could be longer, I think in the Guildhall, Barry will remember this, where we were sitting down looking at plans for a young person's transition service. So this goes, probably went back beyond that, but that's when it first I was aware. And I know it's been a long journey for Portsmouth to get this service from there to now. So it's marvellous to see it and looking so well and up and running and so on. The background I would like to kind of point out really is the great news that everywhere heroin use is reducing. You know, all the figures now. I think it's the third year running we've seen a drop in the numbers of people starting out using heroin. So there are less people coming into treatment for heroin, less numbers estimated to be in heroin. And of course the most marked group for that is the under 25s. People who are under 25. Much less heroin than they used to be, and people with substance misuse problems in that age range present with alcohol and cannabis, ecstasy, cocaine powder, illegal highs, and all those issues. And so it's good news, but what it does is presents new challenges to services, because the services that we have for heroin users aren't appropriate for people who aren't opiate users. Completely different type of treatment. So I think the journey that we've been through in Portsmouth, I think, started off, and way back even 3 years ago, the recognition that many 18 to 24-year-olds who needed treatment weren't being attracted into treatment. They didn't see it relevant to them, didn't meet their needs, they were left out there, and they were becoming another group of people for whom there's nobody there for them, and so that's what this service is for. So what happened next is that the people who are involved and a various number of stakeholders designed a new service with young people. So I think young people have been a significant influence on how this service looks, how it's designed, and they've been part of it all the way through. And then it was tendered out, and Cranston got the commission to provide this service and are providing it, and the fact that they are in this setting here is really says it all about how it's integrated into young people's services generally. So the key features, I think, of a service like this is that it does still provide specialist treatment for people who need it. If they've got problems with substance misuse, specialist treatment is available. But the idea is that, as well as that, and more importantly in that almost, is all the other services that young people need to move on. So housing, employment, relationships, health, all those are very much there throughout treatment, and of course when they leave treatment. And which is why this kind of setting here with lots of all the other things going on is just so important, because what you have available to you are generic young people services. So what we're aiming for is really to help people get through treatment as quickly as possible, move on to successful outcomes, and you'll see examples around where people move on to feeling better about themselves, more confidence, they're properly housed, they've got employment opportunities, and they can live independently and confidently without any dependence or problems with substances. The other background, just worth saying, is that the move towards a local public health system. We've had allusion to that from Peter already, but the fact that drug and alcohol treatment services are moving to be the responsibility of the local Director of Public Health and the local public health system. And I might say, you know, you're very lucky to have a Director of Public Health who is so supportive of drug and alcohol treatment services. It's not the same everywhere, and so you've got a huge advantage, because the new public health system will have the opportunity to provide a link to treatment of all those other services that the local authorities have available to them, like housing and health and housing opportunities and family services and those kind of services. So the new transition, whatever happens to people like me and all this new, it doesn't matter, you know, it's a matter, but it will be a new opportunity for us to deliver sort of better services. So I think this is real opportunity, as we see it, to make recovery a reality for people. And I think, and we look at it with great interest as time goes on, but already I think we're seeing people coming into treatment appropriately that weren't coming to treatment before, getting appropriate treatment. People are moving out of treatment and going into real successful independent living, successful outcomes. And that's what we want to see. We don't want young people dwelling in treatment too long. We want to move on and get confidence. So just to finish, really, just to say well done Portsmouth again. There's loads that goes on in Portsmouth, lots of innovation and lots of real creative opportunities for people to move through treatment. It's quite a tough treatment population in some respects, so it's not an easy task for sometimes in Portsmouth. So well done Portsmouth for this innovative service. Well done Cranston for providing this service. I think Cranston as a provider should be very proud. And finally, probably most importantly of course, well done to the young people who shape the service, who make the service successful, and who will I suppose be the ambassador for the success of this service, and hopefully will move on and achieve the success they want to in their life. So I'm delighted to be here. Many congratulations, and we'll keep in contact with this service and give it every support we can. Thank you very much.